Graham's always filling the airwaves with this propaganda. Like it's done him any good.
Okay, so maybe we can talk to Graham as well, see what this propaganda is. Graham. 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 That's 2 syllables. Alley-oop. Okay, someone just stashed a weapon here. I'm getting lost. Okay, that's the factory there.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember. What can Auntie Abigail do for you?
Are you in charge of handing out medicine?
Yes, indeed. Someone's got to keep Stellar Bay's people healthy and energized.
You certainly seem excited about your job.
Oh, but I am. I get to see plenty of my neighbors here, and I do dearly love a little gossip.
I've been asked to pick up a caffeinoid supplement.
And what a helpful young lady you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits. Who's your lucky friend, dearie?
That's private.
Now, there's no keeping secrets from Auntie Abigail. I'll tease it out of you one way or another. Also, I really do have to enter someone's name for the allotment. After all, I have to keep track of where our little pills wander off to.
I suppose that's reasonable.
Indeed. Now, how about you tell Auntie who this pickup's for?
It's for Nyoka.
Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry.
Oh, of course not. There must be some way I can increase Nyoka's allotment.
I'm afraid not. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them.
Where can I find this Dr. Williams?
In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the Flower of Enlightenment. On the way, he tried some rather daring substance combinations.
The Flower of Enlightenment?
It's a philosophist symbol of some kind, dearie. Never you mind. The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties. Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie.
I guess I'll have to figure this out on my own.
Chin up, dearie.
I'm just going to, use the bathroom here. Yep, here I go. You two wait for me while I use the bathroom.
I'll make my way there.
Let's see if we can hack into the doctor's account. Excellent. Wait, what? Why is there a patient record under my name? Nyoka Ramnaram Wentworth III. Caffeinoid allotment, standard. Medical engineer notes, liver damage, likely the result of prolonged alcoholism. Attitude problems, likely the result of prolonged alcoholism. Frequent social withdrawal, likely the result of prolonged alcoholism. Oh geez. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to be giving her extra pills when she has liver damage. Why would they have a file on me when I just got here? Okay, never mind then. William Z. Employee Files. Notes, reacticism plus pep you up. I had hypothesized that this combination might awaken my mind and senses to the greater realities around us. If that is true, then it seems my faculties were quite overwhelmed in this instance. Shortly after the dosage, I experienced cold sweats, tremors, and mild paranoia. It is perhaps due to these latter effects that most of my notes from the episode are of little use. Nevertheless, the effects were most invigorating. I will have to attempt a milder dosage once heart palpitations subside. Bushberry extract plus Debilorol. After my previous experiments, I theorized that deadening the external senses might allow the mind's eye to glimpse the eternal. Alas, I was only partially successful. The combination of substances quickly rendered me both blind and feeble, so much so that I soon fell into a stupor. I awoke some hours later in a pile of my own sick and a most curious craving for Tyleritos. Corstolarine, triple dosage. File empty. Edwards A. Employee Files. Work in Progress 1. Stella Bride. She's a wide-eyed colonist from Earth. He's a hard-working saltuna farmer from Monarch. Their attraction blossoms into a whirlwind romance that transforms Stella Bay. Chapter 3. A long way from Arkansas. You can put your things here, Mr. Elliot said, leading Abby into a dim apartment. The place was small, but it had a certain, cozy charm. Abby set her bags on the floor and loosened the straps of her jumpsuit. Mr. Elliot coughed, his face suddenly red. If you get warm, you can always crack the window. Breeze from the bay is real nice. Just be careful about mantis worms. As Abby went to take the room key, her fingers brushed his. He had strong, rough hands. A saltuna farmer's hands. She felt herself blush. You've been ever so kind to me, Mr. Elliot. Call me Archibald, he said. Work in Progress 2. The Passion Broker, a renegade iconoclast driven by his ideals, finds love in the arms of a mysterious man with a tortured past. Will he follow his head or his heart? Chapter 2. Tall, dark, and handsome. Come on up, said the voice on the comm. It was dangerous and smooth in a way that reminded Broderick of iceberg-aged whiskey. The door slid open with a whisper of perfumed air. The hair rose along the nape of his neck, and he proceeded up the stairs. The broker sat with his back to a top-of-the-line mostly charcoal personal heater, slender fingers tented. So this was the mysterious recluse who manipulated Monarch from afar. Broderick could feel the warmth of the heater from across the room, but it was the look in the broker's eyes that had him feeling feverish. The broker produced a pair of glasses and a bottle of something that looked expensive. He poured it off and held one of the glasses out to Broderick. For me? He asked, trying to ignore the man's smoldering gaze. Indeed, the broker purred. I hear you're a man of bold tastes. Broderick took his glass. The broker continued, dark hair falling over darker eyes. That's why I've got a rare proposition for you. The glass nearly slipped from Broderick's fingers. He drank it in one gulp to hide the tremor in his hand. It burned all the way down. Work in Progress 3. Clinic of the Heart. A battle-hardened young Earth Directorate soldier visits a remote clinic on Monarch to heal his injuries. But when he meets Gail, an elegant older nurse, she goes to work on his heart as well. Chapter 34. Healing Touch. Fletcher held her tightly. His strength had returned, that much was clear, yet here he remained, at the clinic, with her. He shook his head as if he'd read her mind with his perfect green eyes. Gale, the Earth Directorate's calling me back. They want me protecting Byzantium. But I don't know how to leave, not after what we've found together. Then stay, she whispered, letting her breath warm his ear. I can certainly find a position for you here. Oh, laws, he moaned, pulling her closer. She pressed a finger to his lips. Shush. The only law here is love. Well, it's certainly not my style, and I'm a little uncomfortable, but it's better than I could ever write. Guys, what the heck? You're supposed to be waiting for me to finish in the bathroom.
Someone's been killed!
What?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Are you alright?
No! I just stepped in a dead man's blood. And I think one of the flies landed on my mouth. If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
Shouldn't you be going to the constable first? And when you tell me not to go in a room, I'm going to go in that room.
Oh, sorry. Just spooked me, was all.
What a gruesome way to die.
He literally just said there was a body in here, not 30 seconds ago. This betting slip lists some increasingly bold wagers made for a team called Mostly Colonists. It's from left field tossball betting. Several ragged outfits, all of the same cut and color, were stuffed into this suitcase. Should probably keep the door closed.
Whatever you do, don't mention tossball to Isaac. You'll never hear the end of it.
You know, I haven't seen him in a while.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
Yeah, sorry. I'm looking for Braxton. Have you seen him?
Braxton. I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry.
Relax, no one's in trouble. I'm just looking to have a friendly chat with him.
Oh. In that case,
He told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
That's all I needed, thanks.
Good day to you.
And you.
Whoa, by the stars, my poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Most people don't. Besides, this place is enough to try anyone's nerves.
How's that?
Where should I begin? With the oversized mantisaurs? Or perhaps the rap spewing acid at our walls? The board was right. This place isn't fit for human habitation, and I was a fool for staying.
So why did you decide to stay in the first place?
Sanjar, of course. He had all these glorious ideas about how he'd run Monarch. Rest periods between every work shift. No shift more than 10 hours long. It all sounds wonderful, until you realize there's only a few centimeters of repurposed steel between you and the deadliest creatures in the galaxy.
Seems like you'd want more than centimeters.
I could do with a few kilometers of cold vacuum, but that spaceship is flown.
I mean, I have a ship. Ever thought about leaving Stellar Bay?
Only every day. But in case you haven't noticed, we don't exactly get ships on a regular basis, yours notwithstanding. And even if I did scrape together enough to buy passage out with sublight, which would mean reaching Fallbrook without getting eaten, shot, or dissolved into green goop, what then?
Why don't you just tell me?
Nothing. That's what. Because MSI is not in what you'd call good standing with the board. So even if I could get out of here, no one's gonna hire me.
That sounds rough.
Even talking about it has my blood pressure up. I've really gotta stop.
Well, I'm off. See you around, Raymond.
Lucky you.
Easy does it. Easy.
Still looking for a nice outfit. What does this have? Nope.
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like one of Catherine's. What can I get you?
Let's see what you have.
If you don't see it, I don't got it. Don't go asking for the special reserve.
Wrap Musk and Canadize, right here.
Is she okay?
Please, will someone help me? My boy's in trouble. Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak.
Your child is missing. Where do you last see him?
Oh, I just knew you were a good person.
Agnes, I said, this is the woman to save your little ducky. And I was right. He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous plants, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy?
Why would Tucker run away?
He's been pining for an adventure. Says he's tired of living cooped up behind the walls. But he doesn't understand how dangerous it is out there. I warned him. A raptidon would snap him up first chance it got. I just know one's ripped his arm off and is gnawing on his sweet little fingers. He should have listened to his mama. I promised I'd keep him safe here with me.
Where would he have gone?
He's been listening to those awful broadcasts that the iconoclasts put out. I begged Sanjar to put a stop to them, but did he? No! And now I just know my boy's run off to Amber Heights. That is, if a manta queen hasn't spooled out and eaten his entrails for breakfast already.
Where is this Amber Heights?
That old settlement, southwest of Stellar Bay. I don't know which is worse, the thought of my son shacking up with the nutty iconoclasts, or that he never made it. Sprats could be nesting in his rotting body alongside the road as we speak. Or maybe marauders got him, pulled all his teeth out, crushed him into their drugs and made him snort them. Oh, the things that could happen to my sweet baby.
You mentioned iconoclasts. Who are they?
Those low-life degenerates, leading innocent boys into a life of danger. Oh, they make it sound so exciting. Like it's noble to risk it all out there, fighting for the greater good. How noble is it to worry your loved ones? Not at all, I say. But still they preach their sermons of anarchy and rebellion to anyone who'll listen. If they weren't holed up in Amber Heights, I'd knock them all upside the head.
Okay, well, don't worry. I'll help you find your son.
Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
What do you want to bet that little Tucky is a grown-ass man? Oh, Sebastian, I need to talk to you.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a woman who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts.
Why would I or anyone want any of that?
I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Parvati, you know who he's talking about?
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially.
I remember the exhibit in the community center. The manta queen display was unfinished. Have you seen a manta queen?
Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them.
Where have you seen a manta queen?
Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Sure, I'll do that.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mantiqueen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there, too.
We need to talk about Celia.
Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff.
Would you consider going on a date with her?
Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smote? Smoot?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for Raptidon tongues.
Don't take my word for it. Spend some time with her. I promise she won't ask for a discount.
You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well. But we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
That would be nice. Right, we need to go back to the betting shop, see if Mel knows anything about the dead guy.
I hear those rich people in Byzantium pay a handsome bit for Rap Musk.
You don't suppose she had anything to do with his death? I miss this building.
Here to catch a game? I'm afraid the transmission's still pretty bad. What can I do for you?
I found this betting slip in a dead man's apartment. Any idea what might have happened to him?
Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth.
What do his teeth have to do with anything?
They were pretty distinct. Monarch doesn't exactly have a thriving dental industry, and Isaac seemed to get stuck in all sorts of bad habits, dietary and otherwise. Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the liter, other times he'd keep betting on a losing team, started owing the wrong people money.
So who did he owe?
I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them.
All right, thanks for the tip.
Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Behind the yacht club. Hello.
Laws. Can a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a Stogie Slim in peace?
I don't know what that is. You've got a lot of brass for a man doing absolutely nothing.
What I am doing, ma'am, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place.
What are you talking about?
This Law's forgotten town. Cut off from the rest of the colony. Removed from any culture. I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted.
You miss the good old days?
Days of consumption and culture. When we weren't squabbling with the iconoclasts for lack of better things to do. Look, you're making me melancholy. Is there something you wanted?
No, I'll leave you be.
I wonder sometimes what they're doing on other colonies.
Uh-huh.
Think they're watching the same serials, following the same tossball games?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mr. Vicker, do you ever get a little bit homesick for Edgewater? For that ocean stink?
No, I do not.
You're supposed to say yes and go on to explain why. I just want to have a conversation.
Of course you do.
Who the fuck are you? This ain't your alley.
Pretty sure it's not yours either.
Hey! What are you doing here? This is our secret alley. Berta already pissed by those crates to market.
Gross. I know you murdered Isaac.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
Fine, let's just forget this ever happened.
I don't think so. You're a loose end now.
Careful, you're wounded!
That's the last of them!
What scumbags?
A fine day for business, isn't it? Anyway, what can I do for you?
Isaac Rose is dead. I found the people who killed him.
But that's terrible. What happened?
I've taken care of it. The killers are dead.
But that means we won't be able to log their testimonies. If there's one thing I've been hoping to re-establish in Stellar Bay, it's proper documentation for legal matters.
Maybe I could have gotten the statements if they hadn't been ready to kill me.
Always a shame when tempers get the better of good sense. Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your services.
Here to catch a game? I'm afraid the transmission's still pretty bad. What can I do for you?
I dealt with Isaac's killers. Thought you'd want to know. I wonder if Nyoka's sobered up by now.
Ah, the charmer. Welcome back. Drink, chat, or business? All of the above?
You're still drinking? Never mind, I'll catch you later. That planet says trans rights. I really don't feel good about getting her dosage increased. But if this area of Monarch is anything like Cascadia, I also really need someone to guide me out there. I suppose if I could just get her a one-off, that'd be alright. Hello, Caffeinoid. She must be wondering what's taking me so very long in the bathroom. It's been like an hour. Some really bad Boston beans, probably.